What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thank you for clicking on today's video. Today's video is going to be a recap of the past week, going over some visual tools that you can use to get your journey started, and also the plan for this week. So what do you say we get this video started? Okay, so first things first, behind me is my vision board. I'm gonna put it on the screen because, again, we have rainy days, clouds in the skies, and it makes the lighting horrendous in my office. So you can see my vision board that I did last week, and also click here, whichever one is the cards, and down below I'll link the video of the details of my vision board. But basically, I'm not a very artsy craft type person, and I pushed myself outside my comfort zone and embraced the visual learner that I am, and put them together and came up with my own vision board on how I'm going to view the rest of this journey, you know, how I'm going to see this journey through. And to my surprise, as much as I resisted it, I actually enjoyed it. So it was fun to do. There was a small part that was inspiring, you know, just going through the old stuff, you know, my old content, finding pictures, you know, putting together the vision board and how I see myself going forward. It was inspiring and empowering, and it kind of put a little bit more of a in my step. So I will say I highly recommend it. Now, with that said, if you don't want to do a vision board, I have another great tool that I've had in my Keto Rewind content, and that was a video I did, I don't know if it was last year or this year, but it was about the Toolbox. So again, I'm gonna list wherever the cards is, that video. I have an entire playlist because it was a February challenge, and I had everybody make a toolbox. So what is a toolbox and why would I want to do this? Well, this is either another tool, another useful way to have like a rescue or a lifeline when you're in your journey. If the vision board isn't pulling its weight, or maybe you need a little extra, you could even do both, like me. I need all the help I can get. But a toolbox is essentially going to be your rescue kit. You know, everything about you to maybe help you stay on track. So inside this box, of which you can do any type of box, it doesn't have to be a pencil box, but I have, all you need is some index cards, a fun pen or marker. So in my box, I'm just gonna give you the cliff notes, because again, you're gonna watch that whole video on how we did that. But I have 5 index cards that have words of affirmation. And that is a big one because sometimes you need those reminders, you know, or you need to voice it and say it out loud to manifest it, you know. And if you want to keep those words of affirmations in your toolbox, that's fine. But that doesn't mean you only need 5. You can do as many as you want. I sometimes put them on Post-it notes and plaster them all around my house, and specifically like bathroom mirrors and, you know, in drawers, and just little reminders of those words of affirmation, because sometimes it's refreshing to see those little pieces of hope. And then I also have 5 index cards, each of them with an inspirational quote, a motivational quote. Sometimes there's just some quotes out there that I feel were written for me. You know, it was like my own thoughts, someone put them on paper, you know, like that kind of thing. And sometimes those ones help give you a little push you need to push through that hurdle that you're in, and that, you know, get out of that rut, to grab that lifeline. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, that is a great quote. And, you know, one of my favorite ones is, you're only one decision away from a totally different life. Meaning every chance you have in life, you have one decision to go this way or this way, you know, and which way gets you to your goals. You know, like you can take that step forward and get closer to that goal, or you can take that one step back and go backwards and go away from your goals. But it's one decision every single time. That always speaks to me, like deep into my soul. So also in my box, my toolbox, 5 of the index cards that are in here have 5 actions. And what is an action? Meaning I'm spiraling, I'm off track, I'm in a rut, you know, that time where you're just like, oh, you're so close to just throwing your hands up and walking away. These 5 actions, you know, if I'm in that moment, I go back and I grab an index card and it says, okay, go for a walk. So in my toolbox, I have go for a walk. I come back feeling like a whole nother person. I sometimes only have time for a mile. Sometimes I have time to do 7 miles. It all depends, you know, like on my day and how much I need to work through. But going for a walk releases endorphins. It makes you feel good. You move your body and it just snaps you out of it. And when I'm spiraling, if I go for a walk, I come back refreshed, and then I make better choices the rest of the day. It's like, it seems simple, but sometimes when you're just drawing it out there and it's like someone's telling you to do something, it's like, okay, and it takes the thought process out of it. It just, you know, it's like reading an expert or something, you know, this person says do this if this is happening, you know, but it's all written from you. It's all written from within, and it's suggestions that you like, that you can do, that kind of thing. So I think I have stuff from go read a chapter in a book. So I have stuff to go use my slam ball. When I'm really angry, I go use my slam ball and I work some of it through that way. Out in the garage and just get that anger out, you know? And then I have easy ones where it's just listen to your favorite playlist, you know, just tune it all out, you know? Just lots of actions that you can do to snap you out of it. And that's what it's about. And like I said, it's this just to get the toolbox started. I did 5 of everything, but as you go on and you have a good idea or something that's working for you, write that down, add it to your toolbox. 5 pictures. This goes without saying. Before, after, you know, 20 years ago, you know, whatever the heck inspires you. I like a lot of before. I have after pictures. You know, I have all kinds of things, and I just look at those, you know, like pictures and remind myself I can do it. Here's how far I came. It's possible, you know, but pictures really do inspire me. And pictures of me or pictures of somebody that I see as the poster child of what health looks like to me. And just go from there. So start with 5. And then the next or the most important one is 5 rescue meals. How many times have we gotten off course and just blew it, you know? What's the best way to snap out of it and get back on? These should be 5 rescue meals that you love, that are so easy to do, that you always have these ingredients on hand. You know, I always have a stack of frozen hamburgers in my freezer, and I always have frozen broccoli. One of my rescue meals is hamburgers and broccoli, you know? It's there, it's easy, it's good, I like it, and it gets the ball moving again. So when you have 5 rescue meals, that's at least 2 to 3 days worth of meals that gets the ball rolling again. You know, this is what you do, this is how you do it, and this is how you get that momentum and that drive back, because then you start feeling good and you want to continue. So that, if you don't have the vision board and you don't have the toolbox, please comment below an idea that you have that always helps you see or manifest that goal. And the more the merrier, you know, like this is just what I do, and well, I should say, this is what I do. This is what I'm trying, you know, like these little things like that could make all the difference in the world on why you maybe finally did it this time instead of just gave up, right? So that's basically the gist of the visual parts or the tools, but what you have in that toolbox is unlimited. Fill it up. You know, I also have letters from my kids when they were little, and you know, I first started this journey and their writing was just it was so baby, and you know, I could barely read what it says, so I should have them rewrite me an index card of a motivation, you know, like words to help mommy, you know, and it just touches your heart and it reminds you of why you're doing this. I'm doing a lot of this commitment to my health so I can grow old and healthy with my kids and see it through, right? I live for my kids. Yeah, I really do. They're my life. So when I have their words in my toolbox, it just reminds me to keep trying. Don't give up. So, and along those lines, let's talk about your relationship with yourself. Now, we all know from 2020 till now, we're almost in 2023, the world has been a shit show. You know, it has been a very challenging time to lose weight, let alone live and not have to take on a life change or a journey and all that stuff. There's been so much negativity, there's been so much noise going on in the background that it makes it really hard to stay focused, you know, and it's made, you know, challenges of getting food, you know, and in a nutshell, it's just made life different. It's changed the world, you know, and I'm not going into it. We all know what we're talking about, you know. So with all that said, you know, it doesn't mean that you still can't lose weight. I lost weight during this, you know, I've also gained a lot back. I mean, there was lots of lessons to learn. And you have to give yourself some grace because it's been a challenging time. There's no question about it. So, but you know, and it's been 2-3 years of tough times to get through. We have had, you know, 2-3 years of, you know, lessons to learn from, mistakes to learn from, you know, triumphs to learn from. So what we need to think about, or what I'm thinking about going forward, is I'm giving myself a little grace. I'm going to forgive my mistakes. I'm going to remember all the lessons, and I'm going to take that step forward. I feel like I'm coming out of that, and it's like all that noise doesn't matter. You know, what matters is how do I change my life and get to my goals. That is all I care about. And I need to do everything I need to do. And that means instead of always being so hard on myself and having negativity towards myself, I need to remember to love myself, forgive myself, give myself some grace. You know, be that, instead of that inner critic always being self-doubt, remember, I did this. I've already done this before. It's in me. It's possible. You know, and change that relationship from inside of how I'm talking to myself. And that is a game changer. If you're always looking at the mirror, being angry at yourself, that's not going to get you anywhere. You know, like, find some positivity in all the mess and grow from that. Move forward and love that, embrace that, you know, and just remember those lessons. It's okay. It's okay to fall flat in your face. That's how we learn. That's discomfort. That's where self-growth comes from. So all you need to know is you can do this and love yourself in the process. So for the remainder of 2022, I am going to have at least one more video for you guys, and that's gonna be the plan for the new year when it comes to how I'm gonna eat, you know, the routine, you know, all the stuff I'm gonna be doing for myself when I, you know, essentially hit that button and go. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video. And it's a lot of that is going to be content that I've already done that's tried and true. Specifically, you know, the total carb challenge, the clean keto challenge, you know, those types of things. We're going to build on those, and I will talk about that in our next video. So, but for this week, I'm not doing anything crazy, but I'm going to remember about some other tools that were in my toolbox, such as fasting. Now remember, fasting is an amazing tool. It is not the end all be all. It's not something for everyone, but it's another tool in your toolbox that kind of goes hand in hand with keto, right? So this week, being that, you know, I'm trying to just like remember all the stuff that I used to do that was so great, and just do like a little test run through, you know, dust off the cobwebs and remember how I did these things. So this week I'm going to be adding some fasting in. I probably will do maybe 3 days of protein sparing modified fasting. I did not create this. This is not my thing, but I've done it in the past, and it's been a great alternative to fasting that is no food, you know, like the traditional style of fasting. Because this one, you spare your lean muscle. So you just basically eat a ton of protein, very minimal fat, almost no carbs. And this way you spare that lean mass while you target your fat. So, and it's a way to be able to still eat something without, and kind of get the benefits of fasting. You know, or in my case, I'm targeting fat loss. I'm not so worried about the traditional effects of fasting. I literally just want to hammer away at fat. So like I said, please, I'm not a doctor, not an expert, not a healthcare professional. If you want to learn about protein sparing modified fasting, I will link down below Maria Emmerich, or Emmerich, whatever it is, and her website and all. She goes into way more detail. This is just a tool that I've learned and I liked, as an alternative to regular fasting, where it's a dry fast, it's a water only fast, it's a clear liquids fast, it's a, there's so many types of fasting out there. It's not a one size fits all approach. Find something that you like and give it a test run. Like, oh, I remember this, or maybe I never tried the protein sparing modified fasting. Maybe I'll try it this time, see what it's all about. Or I would love to do an extended fast, like 48 hours, whatever the case may be. These are just examples, but know that there are many types of fasting. Some require food, some require no food. The rules are different for each. I don't know why they name things the way they do, if there's food involved or no food. That is not on me. I'm just saying fasting in general, that's what it's called. So don't hate the messenger, But I liked protein sparing modified fasting because I felt so full and satiated from all the protein. I felt like I could still eat dinner with my kids. I would just make my protein and then I just make sides for them. It also quiets the noise of all the food down in my life, and it makes it so that's one of the reasons I like fasting in general, with it, whether it's a traditional fast with like clear liquids or a protein sparing modified fasting or PSMF. I like the fact that it quiets the noise. There's such silence in my head when I'm fasting, and I love that. It's not like I'm not always worrying about, have I had too much food, I ate too much, I want this, I want that, I have a sweet craving, I have no cravings. It takes that all and quiets it down, and it's almost like peaceful. So I do fasting because it gives me a break sometimes from myself, all the noise that's in the head and the stress and the worries about all the food. It just takes it away. So I do have a cookbook. I am not affiliated in any way. Maria would probably cringe if she even knew I even did any of her stuff. So please, this is not an endorsement, no affiliates. This book you can get on Amazon. It's where I got mine. They're pretty inexpensive, but it gives you all the recipes for PSMF. This way, again, it quiets the noise in the head of all the stress and worry about the food. And I love the recipes. I've made so many of them that are in here. They're really good. And if you don't know how to do it, here's the guesswork, and it takes it right out of there. So, but I plan on doing at least 3 days this week of PSMF, and the main goal is just to remember how to do it so that when I'm making my plan for January, it's kind of fresh in my mind. So it's not really for weight loss or anything like that this week. It's just to get my hands wet and remember and, have that test run. If you don't start planning now, the January 1st is going to kick off, and I don't want to sit there like, oh, what do I do again? So I want to think all that through now. I want to do that test run. I want to build on what I've been doing for a while and then hit that button to like really hammer it come January 1st. So that is the plan. And that if you want to do it with me, comment down below. Let's do it together. So that's basically my plan for the rest of the week. And I will probably make, I'm probably going to film myself making these recipes this week and what it's like, some tips and stuff. And I'll post that on Friday. I've really been liking Fridays lately as my other uploading date. So you have Monday and Friday. I kick you off the week with my motivational stuff of what I've been doing, and I send you into the weekend also with kind of a little bit of wind in your sail. So if you like Mondays and Fridays as my upload dates, let me know. But when it comes to the first of the year, I'm going to be posting probably 5 days a week in January, February, and maybe March. So I'm basically not filming on weekends. And that's because it helps me greatly to film it. It keeps me on track. It keeps me motivated and inspired. And I feel like, it's just a way to get that really big momentum kicked off. So I may not have as many videos this month, but I'll tell you, January, February, March, you're gonna see a lot of Keto Rewind. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below if you have been doing the vision board or you're willing to try the Toolbox or protein sparing modified fasting. So I will see you at the next one. I am Jess. Bye-bye.